There. Recording. Good luck, Rich.
No swearing. I might just go past Paul Lloyd just for effect. For about 5 seconds.
I know. I'll be there for the cake at the end. I broke my ribs, Louis. I fell crashing Thursday training.
Take handlebars out, that'd be better, wouldn't it?
Did you win? Oh, well done. What's my play? Yeah.
Good ride last week, Louis.
Well done.
Not me. It's alright.
She can told you down that back.
It was. It was.
It's alright though, wasn't it? I quite like that.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's alright.
Epic.
Did you play on the tanks and helicopter afterwards?
No, I was so cold away home.
Yeah, I did the same.
Round 10, Wessex Cyclocross League in Southampton. This race took place last Sunday. What's that? 1st of December. At Southampton, organised by Crabwood Cycling Club, and this is a bit of a strange race. Why is it a strange race? Because I'm not racing, and Rich Warner kindly agreed to have his have my camera on his bike, so we've got a race video. Here we are. This race is nearly always a muddy one, and thankfully we're not going to get disappointed, because it was really nice and muddy and slippery and boggy, and a really fun race. Rich, for anyone who watches these, he's normally further at the front than me, so I thought it'd be nice to get a kind of more front view of the race. Not as far forward as Andy and Paul ahead of Rich, but further forward. So I thought that'd be quite nice to see that difference. And I won't be racing at Clanfield, so I'll be looking for someone to see if they can carry the camera at Clanfield Cross. So here we are. It's going to be fun commentating on Rich's ride. I won't be too critical, Rich, because I think I have a very good basis to be that critical. Saying that, why not? I might as well be. Let's have some fun and see how he does. The race starts about 5 minutes, so if you want to fast forward to about a 5-minute point, that's when the race will start. Rich does pit a few times, so I'm going to cut most of that out because that isn't too exciting, and while I can talk about anything, it's probably not the most interesting viewing, so I'll cut that out. Over to the Commissar.
There will be a bell for the last lap. Previous caveat applies, and a flag for the finish. A change coming in the pits only. Hopefully you've all ridden the course. So be very careful of the route as you drop down towards the climbing frames. Hopefully there's still paint on them, having put copious amounts on this morning, but with the rain we never know. Okay, so
Right, so build up over. Nervousness in the stomach for many people, although some people don't seem to get nervous about racing, they've done so much about it. A muddy start. Let's see what happens. They're going to be off in a second, and let's see how the start goes. Who's going to get clipped in? Is it going to be a nice clean start? And off. And a good start. Fast start. Some real fighting. Oh, Harrison. Usual super fast start. I never see him when I'm racing. Rich, you're going backwards, mate. What is happening? There's Rob Ditcham. There's Louis. Louis's got a good start. And into this muddy bit here. But the race is early doors. Let's see what happens. Louis has had a good start, hasn't he? Oh, that's Rich giving his wheel a clean with his tyre. And this is Rich going round the outside. Taking one of his cultured lines around the course. Often rides different lines. And it seems to work very well for him instead of just following. Well, that guy's putting on a lot of power to get past there. These early parts of the race are always so frenetic. Look at that lovely mud. Well, Rich is carrying some good speed into there, but there's no space around there. And taking a different line, going for the greenest grip approach off the course as much as he can to get some grip. Oh, and Louis absolutely smashing it up there. 207. Who's 207? I should know that. 207. Oh God, cannot find 207. I will find 207. Anyway, up the climb towards the end of the race when I was came to watch the finish. People were running up here. It was so slow. That's Aaron Barry just there, 196. Whoa, Jacob Morga. Look at him. He's sitting down as if it's an armchair, and he's got so much power. I ride with Jacob at Silent Pirate, and he just absolutely has so much seated power. He's gone past something like 7 or 8 people just there. Yeah, great to have that in your locker. And Jacob went on to win the juniors race. So yeah, he's in good shape, and hopefully he has a good race at Clanfield with all the heavy hitters at the Nationals. Richard's taking the high line there. This is where I crashed last year. Really, and when I was had a really good start, and then I completely lost it on that downhill. Richard's taken a different line and dropped down. Oh, and diving down to the middle, right onto the inside, and he's taking a really acute angle, and somehow he's managed to keep that going. I don't quite know how he does that, but he does that really well. Who is 207? 207. I cannot see who 207 is. That is weird. It's Tom Budden. Tom Budden. I think, and Tom DNF'd. I saw him. I think might have seen him walking with some bikes. Must have something punctured or something. Anyway, that's Aaron Barry in front. That's Harrison. Really slippery around there, and then look at this. Rich, I think he's just going to drop down here a little bit before everyone else onto the grass. Hopefully get some more grip and gets a bit more momentum. Very, very sticky stuff here, and you just don't know where to ride. Harrison's fighting in that mud, trying to get through it. And it's all about momentum. The moment you lose momentum in these conditions, you slow down so much, and then you try and put the power in to get going again, and what happens? Your wheel starts to spin. So losing momentum in the conditions like this is what you really don't want to do, but it's inevitable, so you just try and do the best you can. Up this bank which we were riding at the earlier Southampton race, this is where I went left, went too fast, landed in a hole. Oh, one of that was, who was that? Was it Tom Budden or was it Aaron? I'm not sure. Something went wrong there. Oh, did you see that? Rob Ditcham remounting and missing his remount and had to stop to a stop. Nice to know that those at the front make mistakes as well as those who are further down the field. Yeah. So halfway through the lap, I'm not sure who that is in blue. I'll have to try and find out, but I just can't see on my monitor. It's too small to see who it is. Well, I think Richard's had a pretty good start, really. He's, he's near the front, and he's not too far behind people. Looking strong. There's Rob Ditcham. Rob is a real Watt monster, he. Anytime there's a nice part of the course to apply some power, that's exactly what he does. Through this twisty bit, nice line by Rich there, catching up, and Rich has chosen to go high up that slippery bank. Hasn't got that far really. It's probably running right now. I stood there, for those that saw me, I was cheering at V40s and juniors on, and there's Tim Dill on his green bike. I think Tim must be a good runner. I saw Tim running quite a lot, and he is a good runner. And the middle line was the best if you could ride it. Low line, you end up scooting a bit, and high line, you just seem to burn a lot of energy to not go far. Oh, I'm going to call that a fall. I think that's a crash. Rich, you've joined my ranks of having the odd crash, and I think we can call that a crash. It might not be a crash, it could be that he's just dragged his bike up there, but I think we should not give him the benefit of the doubt and say that was a rider error and a crash. So must do better, Rich. Where we are coming to the end of, well, it's not really a lap, but near to where we started. Which is behind Tim and Rob, Tim loves these conditions, and he went on to do the Tim Dill double again. Well done, Rich, wiping the camera, excellent stuff. Tim loves these conditions. He's got Schwalbe, the all-round X1 tyre, but the I think it's called the Bite or something. There's Aidan going by. Aidan, who had a fantastic race with at where was it, Newbury Showground, and the others have really gone away. Tim's gone, Rob's gone. So what is Rich thinking? Is he thinking, oh, my legs don't have anything in it, or is he thinking I'm just pacing it well? We'll see. Through that muddy bit, and he's gained there. That is the thing. You can gain and lose time so quickly on a course like this, which is why it's so much fun. There's a lot more opportunity and jeopardy on a course like this. When it's made like this, you can absolutely gain loads of time, or you could end up near the back. So I love this sort of course and these sort of conditions, and definitely one. Well, I say definitely, for me, I would totally be on full months for this one, because this is proper sticky stuff. Although it was quite wet, because it was, there's a lot of rain, which has gone wide this time. So trying a different line to see if you get more grip. Very hard, and it's all about momentum, isn't it? As I said. Well, Aidan's cut right across. Rich has followed the line, and there's the pits. Probably thinking, when am I going to go into the pits? Rich had Laura in the pits for him. So slippery, so slippery. It's almost heartbreaking when you come to a standstill and you think, I'm putting all this power in and I'm not going anywhere. It really is, especially when you're knackered. Okay, up the climb, and Rich is gaining. Ready to pounce. Aidan's worried. And he's gone for it. Bit of power. Got past those two riders. I'm not sure who that Satonia rider was. So hard to see on here. I think, well, we've just finished the lap, haven't we? And we're on to another one. The laps are about a decent lap, about 7.5 minutes, 8 minutes. You know, I think Paul Lloyd, who won the V40s, was doing sub 7. I'm not quite sure. Let's see, have a look. Paul, fastest 6:24. Wow, that first lap was an absolute rocket. But under 7, it's a fast lap. So that high line you just saw didn't seem to work really. It got Aidan came straight by him. I think Aidan and Rich go back quite a long way, I think, from downhill mountain biking days. And nice to see there's lots of chat between riders. I think that's quite good fun during a race, have a quick chat. So got Louis, Aidan, Rich, and behind Rich is Rob Ditcham, right behind. So a bit of yo-yo action here. Oh, these are great conditions. I'm so gutted to miss out on this. I just love this. But yeah, I didn't say what happened. Last Thursday, training with the Pirates, doing some uphill efforts. I chasing the juniors and lost my front wheel, and I just came down so quickly. All the impact went onto my ribs, number 7 and 8, for anyone interested, and either broken or badly bruised to the point where the nurse at minor injury said it doesn't make any difference. It's going to be the same sort of recovery. Louis back on, Aidan's next to him, next to Rich, and they're all together, and I bet Rob is right behind as well. So the battle continues. Oh, I do love a bit of banter on the bike. Louis communicating through the use of hand signals, always important. But yeah, a lot of us in V40s do love love a bit of banter, and the battles that we have during the race, it just makes it that much more fun. And clearly, these three know each other pretty well. And spices up the competition, which we all like. And yeah, makes for lots of fun. Overtaking, putting a move on your mate. Nice one there. Rich carried some nice speed in there, and Louis didn't have any time to move, and carried momentum past Aidan. And what's nice here is Rich has taken the low line. He's learnt that the high line is not worth it, and he's taken some good pace into that, and has overtaken both Louis and Aidan. Nice one. And off he goes. Looks a bit slower there, and ooh, look at that, Aidan. God, must have got a good remount, and he's gone straight past him. Now let's see if Rich can manage this uphill here after crashing at the last one. Yeah, they both make it. And look at this. What an acute angle Rich has gone round that in. If I'd done that, I'd have lost. I mean, he lost a little bit there, but he lost a lot there. He's probably just trying to get some more grip, even though it's an acute angle. No one's going on it. He maybe got more grip. Bit of a slip out from Aidan there. And yeah, it's interesting to see someone else's lines. You can definitely corner more acutely than I can, and I don't know why that is, but it is true. But good to see. And I bet Louis is right behind Rich and Aidan here, and Rob as well. I was I'm recording this quite late. This is clever. This is something that is really useful to do. Is when it's muddy like this, almost ride off the course. you can just push in the tape a bit. You just got to watch your handlebars don't get tangled in with the tape. If it's low, it's fine, but you can almost ride off the course and get a little bit more grip. Every little bit counts, rather than plough through the middle. Whoa, there's James Alloway, who is in good form. I'm going to say the famous James Alloway after his crazy move at Dalton Barracks Southern Regional Championships, where if you watch my video and I say in it, there's a pedal rider coming out of nowhere. That was James, who started pretty much near the back and took this crazy wide line and cut in at the last minute on the tarmac, and by inches it looked like, managed to go from I'm going to say last to third. But it was just the best start move I've ever seen, really, in the Wessex League. It was brilliant. So James, good shape. I don't think James raced loads of races, but I'm sure always training hard with his two sons, Isaac and Ewan, and looking good. Rich is gonna want to stay with him, but look at that. Rich really slowed down there, lost momentum, and I bet his wheel was spinning. And James is into the pit for a new bike, nice remount, and there's Laura going to catch, and you can see Rich running off, chasing after James. Right, I'm going to stop there, and while it's quite nice to see, I'll just commentate over a bit of it. This is the pits. This is where you get your bike cleaned when it's a muddy race like this. Actually, it's not a bad vantage point, is it, to see who's going by? And these gentlemen looking after their riders' bikes, and Laura doing the same. Actually, I think that is the course, isn't it? So they're just going to ride by right now. Someone with a bowl hat. I had some chips at a chim fan. There's a Saturnia rider, and there's Bruce Gregory, who had a good race. And behind Bruce is, I'm sure, John Wheeler, because they were locked together for the whole race. I'll wait till John goes by, then I'm going to stop and fast forward to when Rich gets back as well. There's John. Off he goes. Right, I'll see you in a minute when Rich remounts. Right, I think that's maybe James Alloway going by. I think there's a Tony rider retiring. I think maybe Tom Budden, and I think Rich is about to get back on his bike after a whole lap. So he's done a whole lap, I think, on his other bike. I think that was Isaac Alloway there. I think that might be Aidan. And Rich is back on his bike, and obviously I'm pretty sure that's Aidan. They are still locked together after 2.5 laps or something, plugging through the mud. So he's got a nice clean bike. Let's see what he can do. So I don't really know who is where because a whole lap's gone by, but I think from seeing who was going through the pits before, James Alloway's gone off, as you might expect, because he was flying. 3 laps to go, and this is the bit where Rich got a good spurt on the other lap, didn't he? Right at the top there. So past Aidan, I bet they're yo-yoing all the time. These two. So it's thinned out a bit. People start to get spread out, as always happens in a lot of races. Although some you just seem to be fighting the whole race. Dalton Barracks last week, was it last week? Last week, 2 weeks ago or something. That was like this, wasn't it? Not like this. It was constantly fighting. There was always a battle to be had. This is why I think so many people like Dalton Barracks. Some people like Dalton, but I like it. The racing is just brilliant fun. If you can get your bike to survive it. These are the corners which are so important to be able to take those well at a decent speed. Cornering, being able to corner and just take a little bit more speed than someone else at every corner, it makes such a difference. Like here, I bet Rich didn't brake at all, whereas I would have braked, because you just get into that, you think, I'm not sure I can get through this safely. But yeah, I think when you're confident at that, you can just know when you have to brake and when you don't have to brake. Yeah, that's important. It's a real skill, and it's something to think about when you're doing CX. Is do you really need to brake? Is there can I get through this just by holding a good line and being confident on my bike? And sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't. And when you can do it in a race, you've become a more confident racer. So that's why I think sometimes when we're doing coaching, we tell our riders to try things. Don't just do the same thing, or else you're going to get the same result. So yeah, you just got to try this, and the more you try it, and you think, oh, okay, I could push it that little bit further. It's easier said than done, because I really struggle to get better. I mean, I'm slowly getting better, but if you ever seen some of my race videos, you know that things don't always work out for me. But I am trying, and I hope to get better as the season progresses and into next season. Race 10, there aren't many races left, which makes me feel a bit sad. I think there's only three races left. There's Clanfield Cross, which I'm missing, which is basically race 11, and then there's two others, Andover, I think, and the New Forest one, Crow Cross, I think. I'm going to miss Andover because I think it's on the same weekend as Tong near Leeds, which is national. My son Ben will be riding national, and Ben had a cracking race today at Southampton. Absolutely brilliant. He actually won, which is no mean feat when you've got people like Adam Short and Ewan Alloway, Ewan or Evan. I think it's Ewan. Very difficult to win, so he was really pleased, and he rode a really good race. So anyway, he's racing national, so I'll be there supporting, and I might as well have a go as well, as long as my rib has recovered sufficiently. It should do. I mean, how long can it take? Yeah, it's not nice though at the moment. Laughing is low pain, coughing is medium, and the sneeze is just the worst. I think that might be Sam Ridgman, I think. Satonia have a really strong rider lineup in juniors and in V40s, and they are here en masse. It's a bit of mud on the screen. Rich, will you give it a wipe, please? I can't comment on that because I often completely forget during the race, and you end up having to watch a video with mud and water all over it, all over the screen. I wonder who that is, because he looks really strong and he keeps popping up. Yeah. Isn't it weird how you're strong at some parts of the course and not on others? It just varies. On the few occasions when I've been riding with Rich, he's strong on all the twisty stuff, and give me an uphill and I'm going to be smashing up there as hard as I can. So I think there is maybe one more lap here left. In fact, I don't think there's much more, because I think Rich is going to pit coming in, and he's still ahead of Aidan, which is he's maybe got a bit of a gap on him. Let's see. Oh, do you know what? Aidan DNF'd actually, so something must have happened. He was lapping really well, but unfortunately, something, maybe got a puncture or some mechanical. So no Aidan, who Rich passed half a lap ago. Unfortunately, his race finished. So yeah, chugging through that lovely mud. So much fun. Some people prefer it when it's dry, but not me. I'll always prefer the mud. Even though maybe I'm better when it's dry, I still think it's more fun to go through the mud. And when you watch CX, on telly, on Discovery Plus or Eurosport or whatever you have, my favourite races are the mud baths. They are the most fun, aren't they? Sand's all well and good, but the dry courses, it's just fun. It's just, you want a bit of jeopardy, don't you? And Rich is in for a bike change. Well done, Laura. Trusty pit helper. Right, I will stop there and let's see what happens when Rich swaps again. Right, I think Rich is coming in for his final change to a nice clean bike. He's got riding a nice Giant, which is new for the race, and I think he's going to be in for a second for the final lap. Oh, that's Isaac Callaway, and there he goes. Rich is back on for the final lap. And I don't know. You always have a bit more energy for the last lap, don't you? Just think, come on, last lap, just give everything you can to it. Oh, look how slippery it is. It's absolutely brilliant. I think if I'd been there, the number of times I've slidden down that muddy bank is untrue. Sometimes 2 or 3 times during the same traverse. So yeah, I need to get better at that because it does waste a lot of time, even though it was quite a lot of fun. Rich made it through nicely there, and it looks like these two are locked together. Oh, bit of a struggle to get up there, and it is pretty much half a lap left. Can't remember if it was raining. Was it raining or was it just wet? I think it did rain. It wasn't as heavy as Dalton. Dalton was, well, especially at the V40s race later in the day, it absolutely hammered it down. I don't remember it hammering down at Southampton. It's only a few days ago, yet I've already forgotten. But obviously, wet. There's been enough rain that it's proper wet. Thanks to all the organisers, just saying that now while I remember, and especially big thanks to all I think it was the scout troop who were doing the parking, who were brilliant, and they helped so many drivers get out of that car park because it was really muddy on that cricket field. Especially if you had a heavy car, I think they really helped a lot of people. So thank you very much. Volunteers make all the difference when you are when you're a club trying to put something on. You just can't do it and pay everyone to do it. You would be bankrupt. So this big shout out to all volunteers in and around the Wessex League who helped to put on these events, especially the person or persons who decide to put on a race. It's no mean feat. Having we're always helping at the Stolen Pirates races. It takes so much organisation to make these things happen, and you know, and they cost money. So you know, you've got to you know, commit to it, or else you know the club can lose money. So well done all, and hopefully we get some new courses, because we're going to lose Popham, aren't we, this season? So Rich seems to be really navigating this well. I wonder how he's feeling. Legs are burning, and he knows there's not much further to go. I mean, it's a 40-minute race, but you know, I think I've raced about 48 minutes before, when you finish, when you're on the lead lap, but you're quite a long way behind the leader. But he's still going. This absolute, look at that. To get traction in there is something else. It's such a fine balance to be able to get traction. My son Ben was on Limus for the first time, and I don't know, maybe he was kind of almost floating up there. Oh, he's coming in to change bikes, and he's off. I think that's it, because that was the last lap. So he went on to finish 10th. Well done, Rich. I'm not sure I don't think that's your best result of the season, but it's obviously a good one. But yeah, there you go. I think that's Rob Ditcham going by. I think Rob finished just behind Rich, and then it was Louis. I think that's Tim Wags. No, it's not Tim Wagsoff. Come on, who's that going by? Anyway, shame I couldn't be there actually racing with everyone, but it was, you know, great to see it. At least we have some video footage of what the conditions were like. A nice traditional muddy Southampton race. Oh, there's Louis, who finished behind Rob going by. Yeah, missed out this year. I'm going to miss Clanfield Cross, sadly, but I'll be at every race, of course, supporting everyone. I'm pitting for Richard Lewis at Clanfield Cross. Yeah, everyone take care. Hope to see lots of you at Clanfield Cross, and at the next race after that. I think that's Paul Lloyd going by. Which, that can't be right. Anyway, I'll stop there, or I'll just keep rambling on. See you at the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye.